First of all, thank you very much for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to present these commendations to you all for this extraordinary work, and to the hotel for providing this excellent venue with a rather appropriate view until I don't think the visitor's going to come in this evening, so we should have a lovely sea view until we convene to the bar.
No bodies out there.
Yeah. We're here because of the floods that occurred across several regions of England in June last year, and it's probably worth remembering that flooding and floods have been a part of the human condition for as long as recorded history shows. The Egyptians relied on floods to feed them once a year. The story of Noah is probably the first documented civil resilience operation in history, and I'm very pleased to say that these days we don't rescue people based on how worthy we think they are. We'll rescue anybody. But joking aside, last year was an unprecedented event. Just to put it into context, over that period of June last year, tens of thousands of people were put out of their homes, 48,000 homes were inundated, 7,000 businesses were damaged or destroyed, 13 people died, 8 motorways were put out of action, countless other major road and rail links were disabled, 4 cities were brought to a complete standstill. Now, the economic impact was enormous, and it's being calculated at about £6 billion to the economy, which makes it the most expensive flooding event in modern European history. It may have seemed like a fairly local flooding, but its economic impact was enormous, because we live in a society now that's plugged into the global economy. Everything we do is interdependent. We depend completely on each other, on communications links, information, and one flooding event can take us straight back to a position where we're only 4 meals away from agony. Now, that situation was only mediated, it was only brought back to normality because of the quick thinking, the bravery and the dedication of all those people, including coastguards, who responded to the call for help. Nearly a year on, 1 in 5 people are on medication for mental illness brought on by the flooding. 8 out of 10 people affected are still on some form of medication for a physical illness. Many people are now back in their homes, but that took 6 months. Many more people are still not back in their homes. Small children are terrified when it begins to rain. This is a huge, huge problem for us all. So it's my very, very great privilege to be able to award those of us that responded with the Chief Coastguard's commendation for an extraordinary effort. And I think what I'd like to do now is to just take a moment to read the citation to you all. And the citation is: following unprecedented levels of rainfall on the 20th of July 2007, the civil infrastructure of both Gloucestershire and Oxfordshire was overwhelmed, which resulted in substantial damage to property, both commercial and private, and the loss of electricity, sewage treatment and water supplies. As a part of the multi-agency response to this emergency, HM Coastguard personnel undertook the role of delivering water to those who were most vulnerable within the community. In less than ideal conditions, Coastguard rescue officers worked tirelessly in the extreme conditions to ensure that sufficient water and other provisions were supplied on a 24-hour basis to the needy. The determination and professionalism displayed throughout this incident are a credit to the service and uphold the finest traditions of Her Majesty's Coastguard. So it's my extreme privilege and pride as your Chief Officer to now call you forward to be awarded. And I think we'll do it on a team basis. So can we have the Burnham team forward first, please?
You do want to be up first.
Thanks very much. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Gloucester 2007. One Tuesday lunchtime, around about noontide, the call went out from far and from wide. Gloucester is drowning under rain heavy and light. There is no water, no food. What can they do to help us this night? The coast is responded, all quiet and calm. We'll get you water to city and farm. Just give us a few hours to organise our crew. Our people will get there to help all of you. Off to Sharpness from all points west. The coast is arrived, answering their quest. Somerset and Devon, Wales south and north. All the coast is made ready, wanting to go forth. Our aim is to help whate'er your needs. Waters to drink and foods to feed. Peter the boss, with Ian, Dusty and Terry, and Dave from Burnham for people to ferry. So many answered the call I cannot but name, but men and women together to Sharpness they came. A hall was given for rest, and a pub found for the food. Transport to Gloucester, all in a good mood. The task was enormous, the floods they were deep, a lot of hard work, and then not much sleep. Ain't that the truth? Bowls by the thousand to homes and addresses. They delivered the fresh water, ignoring the stresses. Food was a problem for thousands of them, so coasters responded as the angels from heaven. Old and young, rich and poor, the parcels were delivered from depot to door. Hard work done by all, by day and by night. No word of complaint, just help with the plight. If something was needed, the coast had said yes, we'll do it now to help with the mess. No mention on the telly, no media support, just the army and the police, or so it was thought. We don't mind that, it's always the same. Coastguards get no mention, no glory, no fame. We do this for the people, and have done for so long. The reward is knowing the job is well done. The camaraderie is good, whatever the weather, because we all know us Coastguards stick together.